Welcome back to the Quantum Mama podcast. Today I have a special guest for you. This is Nat, the creator of Sunscoops. She is here with us today, sharing all about her journey and the sun and intuition. And we're just going to dive into some real life chats. We don't have notes for today, really. We're just going to
Just going with it.
So hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
So good. I'm so happy to have you on the podcast. We just found each other on Instagram a few weeks ago, I think, right?
Yeah. Yes, we're very new friends. Yes.
Yeah, and I felt this just so drawn to you when I
Oh,
started watching your videos. I was like, this is the information that the world needs, and we need
mm,
more people spreading the word and learning this stuff and incorporating it into their life because that's how we're going to see the world change, right?
yes. 100%.
100%. So, could you just introduce yourself, just share a little bit about how you even ended up in this world of health and using the sun for health?
Yeah. So I have been on the holistic train since what feels like the 1900s, but it's actually 20 years. Time is weird like that. So I was like, when I had my first baby at 21, I was like, what am I putting in my body? And did the classic hormonal new mom purge of all of the toxins, bought every greenwash brand that my little heart thought was great. And so that's when it really started. And I went on a lot of different kicks for 20s and 30s, every fad diet and the celery juice and paleo and all of the
Oh,
things.
yeah.
And you know how it goes. And at 30, I was diagnosed with Hashimoto's. I had just
Mm,
weaned my fourth and I had a bald spot on my head and gained weight and didn't know what's going on. And they're like, well, you actually have scar tissue all over your thyroid from your
wow.
body attacking it. So I did my normal organic things, but I also tried Synthroid and all the other meds they try to put you on. None of them worked. It was one of those like, this isn't doing anything. I still feel bad. So I quit doing that. And so that was 12 years ago. And I
Wow.
was like, I've got to learn to manage and heal my thyroid on its own. And that
Hmm.
was the first time I ever had the question of like, why would my body betray itself? Like that's how it felt to me. Like, why would it
Mm,
attack itself? That doesn't make sense. Um, and I grew up in a lot of purity culture, a lot of shame and dissociation from body and hearing your own heart and that idea of like your heart is wicked and you can't trust it. When God looks at you, God only sees Jesus, things like that. And so I was raising kids and homeschooling, and we moved out to a homestead in Georgia. And it was virgin land. And I'll just tell everybody if you're going to buy a homestead, I highly recommend maybe some structures and systems. We didn't have a clue. And it was perched on a hill, and we ended up raising a lot of our food. We had turkeys and ducks and pigs and chickens and built outbuildings and these
wow.
beautiful gardens and learned about regenerative farming and jumped all in. So it's very much in nature a lot, and loved the sun, but I wouldn't be able to quantify like, why did I love the sun? I just loved it,
Yeah.
felt good in it. So we lived that life for about 4 years. And then my mom got sick with Lewy body dementia that we
Mm,
ended up finding out was brought on by severe mold toxicity. Like she had black
wow.
mold in the thousands of percents in her bloodstream. And she was kind of living with us a lot during that time. And I was homesteading, homeschooling, taking care of my mom. She declined very quickly. She and I were very close. And I lost her in
Mm.
2022.
Oh,
And in
I'm
the
so
time,
sorry.
yeah, it was we had healed a lot, she and I, and it was the greatest loss of my life for sure. And I just found myself in the process of her getting sick as her caretaker. I was getting sicker and sicker myself. So I was still eating
Mm,
organic, still raising a lot of our own food, but I gained about 60-ish pounds. I was definitely
wow.
over 200, but I quit weighing. So we don't know. We're going to say 204. It could have been 212. I don't know. Um, and my thyroid antibodies at the time where she was her sickest were in the tens of thousands of percent. Like the naturopath I was
Wow.
working with, she was like, I've never seen, like, this isn't a misprint, but I've never even seen this bad.
Wow.
Yeah, it was awful. Like where you wake up at 9 a.m. and you're still exhausted. You don't sleep well at
Mm-hmm.
night, brain fog all the time. My female hormones were that of a menopausal woman at 39.
Wow.
And I was just like, I don't know what to do. Like I didn't know what to do with the grief. Like I promised myself when she got sick that I was going to feel everything. And I
Mm.
also, yeah, I walked away from alcohol in 2020, which was like the most ironic timing because it was the hardest years of my life after. And so I'm sober, sick as hell. I know, kind of how to eat and to live kind of with the land, but it just nothing was connecting. And it felt
Mhm.
like more than just the physical grief. It felt like I really don't know what I need. And I can't
Mhm.
believe that. And I found this corny little book, and I'm pretty positive it came from Jess at Feel More Gooder. She just posted, and it was like How to Heal with Sunlight. And I was
Mm.
desperate. And I'm an Enneagram 7, and we go all in. So I was like,
From
I,
Andreas Moritz.
yes,
Yep.
yes.
Yep.
And full of typos and brilliant nuggets.
It's so
Um,
good.
God, it's so good. And I read it and I'm like, this makes so much sense. And it's probably one of the first times I can remember that my intuition was confirming something that I had heard as truth and like, oh, I need to do this. This resonates. Even that term
Yes.
was not something that I used for most of my 20s and 30s. And so I went all in. And we had a homestead that overlooked the Appalachian foothills. And I'm like, I'm getting up every morning. Even if I feel as tired as a drunk person, I'm getting up. So I would go out there with the birds and my coffee and look at the sun. And I would be outside barefoot all day. And then very quickly, I started feeling better. Like it was a noticeable shift in energy and brain cognition. And I'm like, oh, there's something to this, 100%. And I just craved it. Like when you said, like, my body loves the Sunscoops, I was like, oh, I love that. And that's how I feel about the sun.
Yes.
Like it was like, I crave this in my cells. And because I go all in, I was like, I need to do something meaningful with this grief. So I became a certified health and life coach during that time,
Mm.
and I had clients that were starting to do more sunrise moments. And I, at the time, since we lived on this rural homestead, I would lay a blanket outside, and I would go lay what I called ass naked um, out there, and I would lay out there and just let the sun. We just went for it together, and it felt so good. And so I
Yeah.
started calling myself a sun whore. And then
Mm.
my clients started texting me pictures saying like being a sun whore. And then my friends were like, "Oh my God, I'm being a sun whore." And I was like, "Oh, we're loving this. Like we're all loving sort of this cheeky, rebellious thing." And so that's just what I was. It was like, all right, well, I'm a sun whore. This is my identity now. This is who I am. Children, your mother is a sun whore now. Okay. Just accept this. And we put it all one word, and it was very, there was plenty of extended family, like, the silent judgment, like, was she really did something here? What's going on? I didn't care. I've never cared. That's kind of been my black sheep thing. And so we had always wanted to live in Northwest. And
Mhm.
during this time, it was like, give the grief at least a year. Don't be irrational. If you still want to do it, go out there. So we sold the literal farm, and it was a dream farmstead, and moved cross country with 4 dogs, 2 kids, 67 Airstream, betting fully on ourselves without a bunch lined up, except a deep belief that like we're going to do this, and we're going to break some cycles, and we're going to teach our kids to like follow your heart. And we did. There was a lot more to that. We got here, and some things that were promised by a previous employer didn't happen for my husband.
Mm.
And it was immediately just like okay, we're doing this. And so I had this intuition that I did not want to do one-to-one coaching because I think my nervous system was like, we need a minute after everything with my mom.
Mhm.
So I stopped doing that. But I was like, I just want to teach people how to get outside, how to
Yeah.
feel good.
Yeah.
And so last spring, I was like, all right, let's call it Sunhor, and let's just make a free challenge. And it's just based on circadian health. And the only food related thing was no seed oil, because that comes to the surface of the skin and
Mhm.
oxidizes, continues to oxidize, mutate cells. And so I was like, all right, it's Sunhor. There it is. And people started doing the challenge. And every single person that did it was like, I'm never not living like this again.
Yeah.
Like it was just they owned it. And the thing that I've loved about this journey of circadian alignment is when you feel it, then it is yours.
Yeah.
It's not like a fad. It just rings true because it's human.
Yeah.
And I just saw it affecting people. I had couples send in private parts that were like, this is changing our marriage. I had men coming off testosterone online, just like, hey, I've done this for a decade, and now I'm just outside with my private out, and my life's changed. I was like,
Yeah.
okay. And so that's really an ADHD version of the chicken scratch I have written down about where it came from.
Amazing. Amazing. Thank you for sharing that. It's so powerful.